I believe very much in Finland. It's a resilient people. I mean, forget about Nokia. Nokia is done, dead. It cannot disappear again. Could we stop talking about it? It happened. It's done. Russia, I mean, show me a country that can keep their level of export, but from being predominantly focused on Russia in 2012 to be predominantly focused on Germany in 2014. In 3 years, the Finns managed to keep their export level from 12 to 14, but actually switch their focus from Russia to Germany. I don't know any other country that can shift that fast. But that's one of the things about Finnish culture, and here culture comes in. If you want to invest in the Nordic countries, and this goes for every country in the world, you have to sit down and learn a little bit about the culture. You have to understand the culture. You have to understand, and this is where you want to live. Now, everybody's talking about resi, but if you go up and you want to invest in Finland, don't come with your Danish, your Swedish, your German, your English perspective on resi. Because, first of all, people tend to live in, if you're a family with 2 children, you maybe live in a 2 or 3 bedroom apartment. Normally, a Dane would say you need a room for each child. That's not the case for Finns. A lot of Finns live 4 people in a 2 to 3 bedroom apartment. What they have is then a sauna, and everyone, even if you have a 1-room apartment, there is a sauna. Now, again, that's the case, and you need to understand that. You need to understand that it's not the big, in Denmark, for example, and also here in Stockholm, everybody wants the big apartments, the 3-4 bedroom apartments. It's actually very difficult in the market in Helsinki at the moment to sell the 3-4 bedrooms apartments. That's not where the liquidity is. The liquidity and the high prices per square meter is in the smaller apartments. So forget about our own culture when we go to a new country. We have to understand the culture of the country. It's the same thing in Germany. Sitting in an open space office is not something most Germans would like to do. They would like their own little cell offices. In Denmark, open space offices is the thing. Okay. In Denmark, we just discussed it. Maersk has had a very interesting process selling one of their new developments in Denmark, and very open auction online. It was very interesting. We discussed it before. But one of the things with that was it was close to a station, but not close enough. You could walk, yeah, but you would probably bicycle as a Dane. One of the issues in this development was, from a Danish perspective, there is not enough space for bicycles. As a foreigner, you would go, yeah, whatever. But if you come to Denmark, you would understand that's a problem, because a foreigner would say, an international would say, just dump your bicycle on the street. That's not really possible in a lot of places. So things like that, you need to understand the culture. Getting back to Finland, the Finnish people has a history of being resilient. They have a history of being highly educated. And one thing, the Danes would like to say that we are very good in biotechnology. Swedes would like to say that they're very good in IT. I hate to say it as a Dane, but the Finns are very good, better than the Swedes and the Danes in these things. They have a lot higher university degrees, and they have a forest of startup companies like you will not see in Denmark or Sweden or Norway, if you compare the Nordic countries, of IT biotech companies. So the new Nokia, the new Microsoft, whatever is gonna come. Which also means for office spaces around the university, that's the interesting area. I mean, all these things, you have to get to know the country, then you will find the interesting investment opportunities.
When we started 10 years ago, and we were presenting our first Finnish deal, we had an office building in Ruolahti that we presented, and the ceiling height was like here, 2.50 meters, 3 meters. And the Germans are not really used to these ceiling heights. We have very comfortable ceiling heights, very light, everything looks modern from the outside, a glazy facade and everything. And that was a red brick office building. And I will never forget the discussion with our CRM colleagues. Why the hell, what do we want to finance here? A red brick building, a ceiling height of 3 meters. How is the releasing opportunity when the tenant will leave? Who will take on this space? I think that's a very, very important issue. It's not only the residential, it's all other types of assets. Same here in Stockholm, same in Denmark. So it's a very, very important issue. So this advertisement inside, let's say, coming from the outside, this advertisement inside the company about the culture and the different habits, it's very important to take also, and also to get a positive decision from my board for doing deals here in Finland or in other countries.
And we very much like the Finnish market, but there's some clouds that need to be dispersed, like there are, and let's put it back into a Nordic or European perspective. Every region has some of those issues, and it's just, the next black swan isn't going to be one issue. It'll be there's breakage points in every issue somewhere down the line where they all add up. It may just become too difficult for a currency to bear, and I think that's more the reasoning. And I wish every city and every country, of course, that there is a cultural and straight-back mentality like the Finns have, which I very much enjoy. And plus, the best thing about Finnish is the Germans and the Finns in negotiations is probably the easiest thing you can do. They're very similar. Right? It's straight down. They're short contracts and very reliable. So, but I think there may just be too many things out there on the horizon, which I hope Europe can buckle up and manage for it to be a region which has a joint export mentality and a joint attractiveness to it, just to be competitive against the other regions in the next 5 to 10 years.